Hey guys, this is Robert with RC1 Hobbies. I just wanted to shoot a quick video on sometimes what you have to do when you're having fun and you break stuff. You gotta work on it. So it's not all glamour of just driving RC cars and jumping big stuff and doing wheelies and doing backflips and doing all kinds of fun. There's a part of it that may not be fun to some. So the hobby may not be for you. But for someone who likes to do mechanical stuff and tinker, this is kind of a fun part too, of repairing broken parts. I just got this truck about a few months ago, and I haven't really got to run it much. I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's called the Arma, is the name of the manufacturer, and it's called an Outcast. And it's an 8-scale truck, and it's a stunt truck. It features a stunt truck, and I like to do stunts, so I thought I'd get one and try it out. On Thanksgiving Day, which was a couple weeks back, I was doing some big jumps and landed kind of funny, and one of the parts on the front end broke. Steering block broke, so I need to replace it. I thought I'd shoot a little video of my little workshop area here where I'm going to work on it. I already took off the 17 millimeter nuts to gain access to the steering block, and a couple of tools that are staples to use, you know, things that you always need when you're doing hobbies, are metric wrenches. This little T-wrench is great. Most of your 8-scale vehicles, when you buy them, they come with a 4-way wrench. This has 4 wrenches on each side, which is really cool. It actually has a nitro glow plug holders on it right here with these little threads inside. So it's a multi-use tool, which is kind of neat for doing certain things. On the big side, this is the one I use to take off the big nuts to hold that holds the big wheel on. 17 millimeter. Over here we got a 7 millimeter. Over here we got a 10 millimeter, which is a staple, and an 8 millimeter. So it's a very useful tool. Compare this to the 10 scale little wrench. This is what you get when you buy a Traxxas truck. In most 10 scale, they give you a little wrench for taking the wheel nut off, and there's other little wrenches here on all 4 sides. So it's a small multi-purpose tool. Another good thing to have on your workbench is some of these magnetic little pans to hold your screws. Right here I got screws in this pan. They won't fall out if I tip it. Here's another one. I got some bits in here for drilling, and some Allen wrenches that I can connect to my screw gun, so when I need to do a lot of screwing and it gets tired, you know, just twisting the screwdriver kind of thing. Because this is the wrench that comes for Allen wrenches. It's got a nice handle for good grip, but when you got to do a lot of screws, take this. Actually, you can remove the bit out of this. It's got a nice lock nut here, set screw. You can take this out. So I bought an extra set of wrenches, and I remove the Allen wrench, and I can put it in a drill, a cordless drill, so I can use it to drive screws when I have a lot of screws to drive. Also a utility knife, a little X-Acto knife, nice hobby knife for cutting decals and things like that. Also, these are the staple sizes that most get used a lot on hobby stuff. It's all metric. The larger one is a 2.5 millimeter. Then the next size is a 2 millimeter, and then a 1.5 millimeter. These are typical ones you use mostly on your RC, unless you get down into the smaller scales. Also, another thing I like to swing over here too, you can see I have a soldering iron for when I need to solder, and this nice light here. We're bringing light in areas where I can't get light from the overhead shop light. Really helpful. Also has a magnifying glass in here for getting small things. Really nice setup. Another thing for soldering. Soldering is something that is fun to do and also saves you time and money instead of having to have somebody else do it. There's these cool little tool here to hold. We've got little alligator clips on it that can hold wires for you and things you need to solder in place while you solder them, which is really nice. They're quite a bit at a hobby shop, but if you go to Harbor Freight, they're a lot cheaper. It does the same thing. Another soldering tool is this jig is up tool, which is nice. It holds different size battery connectors and a little clamp here and alligator clips. Really nice tool to have for doing soldering. So I'm replacing, I bought an extra set of tires for this truck because the tires that came on it are for off-road. See, they're big thick knobbies for off-roading, and I don't want to drive them on the street and tear them up. I want to use them just for the dirt. So I bought a set of tires that are reasonably cheap, the Traxxas X-Max or T-Max type tires. They're reasonably priced. Actually, they're going to use them for mostly doing stunts because they're big, similar to the size of the tire that came with it, and the tread is more friendly for driving it on the street. So that's why I got it. Another thing you want to have in your shop is a trash can, so you can throw your little piece of paper and trash away. So here's brand new tires that are a little more friendly to the pavement. Soft tread for spinning in the air and getting more inertia. Spinning in the air, tire spinning in the air is really important for doing stunts because the tire spin is what helps you do the backflips, things like that. Another nice thing to have in the shop is a dust broom, a hand sweeper broom, because you get dirt on your workbench to get it off. Also a rag, keyboard duster, very nice for getting dirt out of small areas. Also a little degreaser, water safe degreaser, a little bit of lube. I like Inox or Enox, however you pronounce it. Some people pronounce it either way. Enox. Very nice lubricant, better than WD-40 actually, in my opinion. I've seen people do wonders with it, breaking things loose. So as I take the body off, I've already disconnected the steering linkage that turns the front steering block. So this steering block broke on the inside when I landed weird, so it just popped off, and I popped it back on and it just popped right off again on my next run. So I had to order a new part. So here is my new part. It comes in pairs. One good thing about the hobby is usually when you need one part, they give you one for both sides. So in case you break the other side, you'll have that other side, and other little spare parts to go with it inside. I forget how much I paid for this. It probably just 12 bucks or something. I don't know if it was that much, but I got to replace it, and that's what I'm working on. So I just wanted to show a little bit of the workbench area that I'm using to do work on my truck. I put the old tires underneath it to kind of get it off the bench, so I can reach it without having to lift it up and angle it and stuff like that. So also the noise you hear in the background is my battery charge. So actually charging some batteries for this weekend. I have a RC Blast party I'm doing for Landon in Vero Beach. So Landon, if you're watching, I hope you are ready for the birthday party this week. And Saturday morning we're gonna have a blast, an RC blast. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.